Today, we're going to be addressing your most frequently asked questions on my hard drive swap video I published in May of 2015. Stay tuned. What's going on, guys? It's QwazyDog here, and like I mentioned before the intro rolled, today we're going to be addressing a lot of the comments, questions, concerns, and success stories you all had and shared while watching my hard drive swap video published in May of 2015. Before we roll through, I do want to give a little bit of a disclaimer as well, that these are in no particular order. I skimmed through, there's a lot of repeated questions and things like that, so as we go through and address some concerns and answer some questions, they may seem sort of out of alignment, but stick with me, we'll answer as much as we can. If you guys have any questions that weren't addressed at all, go ahead and leave them in the comments of this video, and I'd also like to thank each and every one of you that came here from the comment section of my last video. It's because of you guys that that video reached 50,000 views. It's by far my most popular on the channel, and I'd just like to thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started. Oh, one other small disclaimer as well. This is sort of summarized based on what you guys left in the comments, so it's not worded as exactly left in the comment section. Now we can get started. Now, one comment that I saw addressed a concern with the hard drive beeping. If you guys have a hard drive not only in your PS4, but in any electronics, and you find that it beeps quite often, it needs to be repaired or replaced immediately. Beeping means that you have a stuck platter within your hard drive and it's having a hard time spinning. If you've just purchased your hard drive to put into the PS4, try your best to put it back into the enclosure and swap it out at the retail store that you purchased it from. Do I need to back up all of my games? No, not at all. Backing up your games is a personal choice in all honesty. If you guys are in an area where your internet service provider charges you per gigabyte or sets you to a certain allotment of usage per month, at that point I would certainly recommend that you guys back up your games to make sure that you're not wasting your bandwidth for the entire month, getting your back catalog back. The other thing is Sony has been removing a lot of content off of the PlayStation Network. It was done in the past with PT, that interactive Konami game. I believe you guys are going to hate me for not knowing that. But recently some more games have been removed. So if your content is still available today at the time that you're watching this and thinking about doing your swap, then no, you don't have to back up your games. You can certainly just reinstall them. The repurchase is free of cost provided you use the same PlayStation ID. If your content is not on the PlayStation Store, be sure to back it up because it may be lost forever. Can I use the external hard drive as a USB drive on my PS3 just like you can on an Xbox One? And not to be rude, but the answer is no. There honestly wouldn't be a barrage of videos on YouTube showing you the specifics of replacing the internal drive if you could simply do it with an external USB. I've taken my drive out of my PlayStation, put it into the enclosure, and now it's not readable on my PC. This is something that I actually address probably weekly within the comments section. The PlayStation itself seems to write different partitions in a proprietary format that only your PlayStation can read. What you have to do is when you remove the drive, put it inside the enclosure on a Windows-based PC, open disk management, delete all the partitions, and reallocate that space and reformat it to probably FAT32 or FAT-EXT, and from there, that drive is going to get a drive letter assigned to it, and it will be usable as an external drive. Will swapping the hard drive void my warranty? No, it won't. You guys are not removing the actual case of the PlayStation itself. You're removing a small user-accessible flap on the side. There are no warranty tags that you guys are removing at all, so you're perfectly safe with your warranty. One thing I will suggest is if you've already swapped your drive and you're going ahead and sending your console in for servicing, I would remove that drive and put in the original drive back, just to make sure if in the event they happen to replace your console with an already refurbished unit, that you're not also losing that extra hard drive space you installed yourself. Can I use either a 7200 RPM drive, 10,000 RPM drive, or solid state drive? Well, yeah, you certainly can. The advantages to using a solid state drive or anything over 5400 are negligible at best, and the investment that you will go through to actually put an SSD into your PlayStation, you're really not going to notice the difference in load time. So if I were you, I would stick to the drive that I have linked both in this video as well as the previous video. And by the way, I'm going to link the previous video too if you haven't watched it, if you've just come to this video here. That drive's going to work perfectly fine. Can I use a drive bigger than 2 terabytes? Beforehand, the answer would have been no. Today, yes, absolutely. Sony quietly rolled out an update with their firmware version 3.50 that allowed you to read hard drives above the 2 terabyte range. I would recommend maybe a 4 if you need extra storage, but I don't think you would need any more than that, and I honestly haven't checked myself to see if there's any small laptop drive 2.5mm drives available that actually come over the size increment of 2 terabytes. Can I remove the factory drive, install the 2 terabyte drive, take the original drive, put it in the 2 terabyte enclosure, plug it into the console, and then offload all of my applications and my content that way onto the new drive? Unfortunately not. The way that the PlayStation is set up is it actually compresses and writes backup files in a very particular way, so when you go through the restore process, it finds that particular file or that file type and puts it back onto the drive. If you're removing the factory drive, putting it into the external enclosure, and trying to offload that back onto the PlayStation, it's not encoded in that predetermined backup format, thus you're not able to actually see it when you go about doing the restore. That was a lot of words to try to explain. Will I lose my levels in Call of Duty or GTA? No, absolutely not. A lot of your multiplayer content, your leveling in Call of Duty, Battlefield, GTA, and all those games, that's all housed on the developer or the publisher's server. So EA, the Rockstar Cloud, things like that. That's not saved locally on your drive, so don't worry about losing your prestige or your map packs or anything like that. Those are all saved on the actual cloud from the vendor of the game itself. Map packs, I should say, actually need to be re-downloaded. But other than that, no, you're not going to lose your character or your progress. So that's it, guys. In a nutshell, I just wanted to grab some of the most frequently asked questions, address those in video format, because I seem to be jumping in and just repeatedly answering them individually within the comment section. If you have a question that wasn't addressed, you can leave it in the comments of this video or in the hard drive swap video as well, whichever you would prefer. Other than that, I'd like to thank you so much for watching this video. If you could go ahead, give it a like, and share it as well, I would greatly appreciate it. And also, don't forget to subscribe. We took a bit of a hiatus. We're coming back hard in 2017. We're going to keep that content rolling, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care.